Oh no.
Oh, yes.
God damn. Oh yeah, just like that. Yeah, that's right. Keep going. Anyway. We're doing more RPG horror stories.
Because Zane still isn't here.
This is a collection by user pisfopear. At least I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced. It's either that or pisfopear.
Like in the
One
description, as per the usual.
Yeah.
That
Starting with go back to your wall, Wallflower.
just sounds toxic.
Yeah. So I've been in a couple of campaigns by now, and while some of them have been great, others have made me want to never play again. Let's look at some of the highlights from one of these campaigns. At the time, the DM and I were dating. Oops. Something that my character and I ended up paying for.
I created a very charismatic character, definitely the one meant to be the face of the party. The DM and players all agreed, and I initially had a lot of fun playing this character, and it was really helping me get out of my comfort zone. A couple of sessions in, another player joined, and all of a sudden my character got sidelines. As my character was very specialized in diplomacy, etc., and not a fighter, there wasn't much else she could do. New guy sure as hell wasn't sharing the spotlight. He had to be the talker, so I was left to sit quietly in a corner. Oh, this is a great start.
Joke's on you, 20 charisma.
I don't need to talk to be heard.
I just need to be here.
Mm-hmm.
With my open-chested half jacket. That's right, my charisma is entirely in my abs. Well, right before our sessions, I was upset after having learned about a notorious serial rapist being released from prison early. Yeah, I can understand that. New player, aka Mr. Talker, immediately started making snarky comments about how I was a man-hater. No! That's not how that works. This became sort of a repeat occurrence where, out of nowhere, he, for example, would start talking shit about any woman he knew I looked up to.
Oh my gosh, man.
Fucking hell.
As I've mentioned, the DM and I were dating, and after a while and some prodding from me, he admitted to treating my character more harshly because he didn't want the others to think he was going easy on his girlfriend.
That's not how you deal with that.
Apparently, the other players had been talking with him about me behind my back because they didn't find my character interesting enough. And so, instead of them or the DM talking to me about it, I was just sidelined. The result ended up being that I got steamrolled by everyone and everything and felt completely useless a vast majority of the time while the others were laughing at my expense. Ugh, I hate.
That's not how you deal with that. If someone I was dating were to play a game of D&D with me, and I was the DM, I would just treat them the same way I do everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
That being in a way that caters to their play style.
You don't give special treatment to anyone. That's just...
Unless they just happen to be really good.
Well, even then, like, give the other players chances and such, but...
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you do have, like, a problem player, then yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then you can either wait for the characters to kick their shit in and don't stop it, or you can just kill them brutally. The character, too, probably.
So you remember that Godzilla thing?
Which one?
All of them.
You're going to have to be more specific.
Oh. Just every CR30 I can find.
Oh, yeah, that.
Congratulations, you have reached the plane of eternally getting your shit kicked in. Have fun!
Yep.
Months later, I tried bringing up a concern I had with another player who was being very patronizing of me, not only in character, but also outside of the game. For example, mocking me for being from a lower socioeconomic status and frequently interrupting me.
Good Lord.
Again, if you have a character that's meant to be a jerk, that's one thing. God damn it. I was told that I was being rude, and in the end, nothing changed. I wish I had gotten that sooner, but I didn't have the confidence for that.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry, pisfopear.
That sucks.
That's unfortunate, dude. Like, ugh.
I think it's do that. But
yes.
Dude's my gender neutral term. Even women are my dudes. So you fuck dudes? You see that?
Oh, man.
So you fuck dudes then.
That was a turnaround.
I don't remember which subreddit I saw that one on. I think it might. I think it was like one of the like particularly like r/tran or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh. Anyway, Evil Not Evil is the next story. I entered a campaign where most of the players were already longtime friends, with the exception of me and one other guy. Oh, that can go terribly. Tom?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted because I was blowing my nose. Yeah, yeah, that can go terribly.
Your line.
Yeah, hang on. Someone... I'll answer that in a sec. Me and the new guy played rogues, and were immediately warned that if we were to steal from one of the other PCs, that would be grounds for getting kicked out of the group. Fair enough. My rogue had a strict code which included never steal from those you work with, so I didn't have an issue with this anyway. I did, however, steal from an NPC at one point, and to my surprise, the DM was furious at me. You're the rogue! Again, threatening to kick me out. I was the thief archetype and had a backstory as working in a thieves guild, all pre-approved by the DM, and it was still literally the only time I ever stole anything during the campaign because I didn't want to get kicked out.
Oh no, the thief stole a thing from an NPC. Fucking hell. And you were like, yeah, sure, play a thief. Maybe it's just me, but I felt like the NPC was being unnecessarily harsh. But I felt like the DM was being unnecessarily harsh since it was maybe my third session ever, and she'd only said not to steal from the player characters.
Yeah.
Especially considering that later on, not one, not two, but 3 other PCs stole from various party members on several occasions. ¿Por qué? When they did it, it was laughed off and seen as something that would create interesting dynamics.
That's stupid. That's really stupid.
Insert TFS abridged Frieza.
Which part?
It's stupid! Stop being so stupid!
Yep, that.
I guess it's because they all knew each other, but it really felt like me and the new guy were being singled out.
One of the characters, the party's leader at that, both indirectly and actively tried to kill several of the party members. By indirectly, I mean that we would, for example, enter combat and this character would either sit it out entirely or enter at the last possible moment. At one point, my character nearly got crushed under a collapsing building, and the others were occupied elsewhere, unable to help even though they'd tried. The leader stood 10 feet away and watched with a disinterested look. Okay.
Yeah. Even Mundus would probably help. Probably. Depends on what that party member had been up to.
Mm-hmm.
If it was stealing from strangers, she wouldn't care. She'd help then. Oh, you've been stealing from strangers? Okay, fuck them. Starts lifting. Like, god damn it.
This is just making me upset. This is bad.
Don't be upsetty. Have some spaghetti.
Shut up, dude.
No. I had too much spaghetti. Now I regret it. When the others that I voiced that this made us uncomfortable, we were swiftly shut down with the answer, but he's an evil character.
But he's an evil character. Dude, that doesn't excuse it. Okay, if you're going to be in a party, work with the party. That's the point of
it's
D&D.
The whole thing is like an evil character would more than likely, in a way that works in a campaign, be using the party for their own ends.
More like, oh no,
keeping the party alive is kind of beneficial.
Yeah, like, oh no, this meat shield might die, and then I would have less things within bullet blocking distance.
I've mentioned it before, but a good example of this sort of thing is fucking Oxventure. Tiefling warlock of the party is chaotic evil, but helps out the party because it's beneficial to her.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, she may occasionally tell the pirate that the chest full of spiders is actually full of gold. That was a thing that happened. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I like that.
But there's a way to do this. God damn it. The characters fucking what's the word I'm looking for? Aesthetic. The character's fucking aesthetic is like blood and entrails. But she still helps out the party.
Mm-hmm.
Another good example. To do evil characters. Even though he wasn't evil aligned according to the introduction and character sheet. God, mixed symbols there. Signals, not symbols. These are some mixed symbols.
Hey,
this drum kit, nothing but symbols.
This whole thing. Another example of a good evil character would be in the webcomic Order of the Stick. Belcar Bitterleaf, a chaotic evil halfling who does help out the party because, well, they're trying to stay alive, and he's kind of the pet psychopath. Yes, the lawful good party leader has to keep him in line every now and then, but he's a dick to the rest of the party on a pretty regular occasion, but it's never actively trying to kill the rest of the party.
And hell, if you want to have the character be a dick, you could probably have it to where, can you please help me? I don't know. Wasn't it for me?
Yeah, that would work.
Yes, the character's being a dick, but at least it's something.
Mm-hmm. We didn't bring it up again, but instead figured that maybe we could work it out in character. My rogue flat out tells Evil Not Evil that the things that have been happening lately are not okay and that they are endangering everyone in the party. I implore Evil Not Evil to think about the consequences and the possibilities that the information he is receiving from his mentor. Yes, this character had some sort of mentor that he would occasionally speak to them telepathically. None of us really got any clarity on how it worked. Was false. Most of the party backed me up. The response my rogue got was essentially, LOL, I don't care. I can do whatever the hell I want. Oh, geez, one of those characters.
Again, yeah, you have freedom of action, but you don't have freedom from consequence.
Exactly.
Sometimes the DM needs to get the pimp hand out.
Not just the pimp hand, but the freaking pocket nuke.
Well, I mean by pimp hand, I mean pimp encounter.
Oh, okay.
Backhand them with a Tarask.
Yes, a Tarask falls out of the sky. Good luck.
What was that you say? Bring out Zakama Primal Calamity?
Oh, what are you saying? You're saying that you want me to bring out an ancient red dragon when y'all are level 3? Okay.
Bring out one of the nightmarish homebrews? You got it.
Yes, the false Hydra.
Oh, I think I told you about this one, but I did kind of hybridize a dragon turtle and a Hydra.
Why would you do something like that? Please show me the stats. I want to see this.
This is PR24.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I think there's a few things I need to iron out. Actually, I think I did iron one of them out because what I ended up doing is basically supposed to be like one of the crises.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I ended up also doing is having it to where instead of steam, it was just releasing electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to change that from the cone for steam breath into just a blast of electricity in a line.
Yep.
And then I also turned the claw and tail attacks into legendary actions.
Nice.
So on its turn, it just does the bite attacks, but then as legendary actions, it'll do the other attacks, and then it can also do those as opportunity attacks.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It was fun.
It sounds fun.
Oh, yeah. Which, again, like from what I calculated, it's a CR24. Whether or not that's accurate as to what it should be is a different question, because when I used the same thing, it told me that like the exact stuff for a Hydra would be below a CR8.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird.
Hydra is CR7, if I'm remembering correctly.
No, it's CR8.
Is it? Okay.
Yep, it's the same CR as a T-Rex.
Okay. Huh.
That's why I remembered that one.
Challenge rating. Really fun to mess with.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
fun to come up with.
Oh, yeah. Again, it's fun to come up with that stuff. It's just a whole sort of thing of, oh, shit, this is... I have made this NPC way too much. Hopefully they don't try to fight it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, some of those, yeah, I'd hope you don't try to fight them until higher level.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you can get along diplomatically with them.
Mm-hmm.
I steal from them. Are you sure?
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that? Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go. At this point, my character and a couple of others decide to try and have a re-election for group leader since the current evil, not evil leader has become increasingly unstable. However, my character gets chosen to the great anger of evil, not evil, and his player. Well, shit. My character doesn't even want this responsibility. God fine damn it. Responsibility. I know English. Totally. Nor does she really have the best skills for it. But she goes along with it and tries to ask the others about their opinions as much as possible, all the while with the mindset that she's only a temporary leader.
Jump forward a bit. We start to dig into my rogue's backstory, and as we are about to enter one special chapter of it, my character takes the time to explain some things to the others and implore them all to avoid doing a certain thing because she's afraid it will end up getting us all killed. Evil Not Evil's player gives me a smug smile at the time. Session ends. Next session, the chapter begins, and Evil Not Evil immediately does the thing. It almost turned into a TPK.
God fucking damn it. Yeah, fucking damn it. This fucking douchebag. Fucking douchebag. I was a naive idiot who thought they weren't petty enough to nearly get everyone killed just because they got replaced as leader. Yeah, it's fucking Man of Steel Clark Kent all over again. Fuck. Oh, God.
That
fucking sucks.
I don't know. Well, I'm glad you're still playing D&D as far as we can tell.
Yes. Yes, nice. On to the next story.
When your healer is missing.
A trigger warning for in-game racism. Which, understandable. People involved in this part. Keith!
Oh, you're reading this. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Primary healer, completely innocent as he was not present for this story. Probably because he was missing. Bob, who made me want to tear my hair out. Ron, who was angry, perhaps rightfully so, but not necessarily at the right people. Tim, who made me want to tear my hair out, was for some reason more angry than Ron. The DM, who for years brought up this incident when they wanted to make me feel guilt. Fucking douchebag! Also made me want to tear my hair out.
And of course, me. You want me to read the week?
Tom!
No, not
There was
me.
both Tim and Tom.
All right.
Love you.
Thank you. Should I read this next one after, of course, me? Or...
Go ahead.
Okay. We were a party of 5 with Keith as our primary healer, as I've already mentioned, not present for this story, and me and Bob as the secondary healers. Keith had to skip a few sessions due to health reasons, and the DM decided to have his character go on a side mission. Bob and I agreed that we were going to have to adjust to this by throwing in some more healing stuff into our daily preparations, especially since we knew we were heading into what promised to be a combat-heavy part of the campaign. Due to spell list limitations, neither of us would have made for a good solo healer. With the DM's permission, I sent Bob a summary of the healing spells my character would try to include as often as possible, while also stating that my spell slots were limited so that I couldn't do everything. Never got much of a response. First red flag.
Well,
sorry,
shit.
my sister tried to call. I'm gonna make sure it's not an emergency. I'll be right back.
You need a fucking kidney, mate. Anyway, a few sessions passed. We entered what was maybe our second or third encounter since Keith took off. Took a couple of hits, but managed to pull through. We nearly stumbled into another encounter right away, but thanks to Tim, we managed to avoid it for a bit longer. Then shit hit the fan. We failed a series of checks and got swarmed by enemies. Tim and Ron took a lot of damage. I was surrounded and couldn't do much. Bob rapidly went through his spell slots, used it for stuff other than healing. Second red flag. But as far as I knew, he still had a couple of them left. Ron went down. Tim couldn't help, and Bob, for some reason, wouldn't. Ron died. God damn it, Bob. God damn it. I'll say that is one of the good things about, like, the D&D campaign that Tom's running. At least we have someone designated for heals, because originally it was me, and that was a bad idea. Because low-level bard.
What was a bad idea?
Having only Sazerac for heals.
Yeah. I mean, it can work, kind of.
He's not the squishiest character, but still.
Yeah, and you got a pretty good armor class because of your high dex stats, so that's a good thing.
Yes. It's a good thing I remembered to go back and fix that after the latest level up.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we didn't have a combat encounter.
Mm-hmm.
It was like,
you're only going to have one next session.
15 before, and I just increased my dex stat.
Mm-hmm.
16.
Yay! As much armor as chainmail, but you can still stealth.
Yes.
Alrighty, so you read the for some reason wouldn't?
Yeah. And Ron died.
Oh no, Ron! Why would you die, Ron? That's terrible.
Oh God, the chess match took a lot more out of him than we thought it would.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Harry's moral support.
Harry's best friend. He didn't really get along a lot with Hermione in the books.
Yeah, they argued quite a bit, but that's okay.
Well, the whole thing is Ron and Hermione argued, but that was just how they showed like their affection with each other. They liked bickering. Mm-hmm. Hermione was very much an argumentative person, and Ron just kind of went along with it.
Mm-hmm. Harry didn't get it. It was kind of funny.
They were both very much opinionated people. Mm-hmm. So it worked.
Turns out Ron was the fiery redhead in this situation.
Yes.
Fast forward to everyone being pissed at me because I didn't heal Ron. Never mind the fact that I couldn't get to him or that Bob was next to him. I tried to tell them this. The response I got was that Bob hadn't prepared any healing. In retrospect, I should have gotten this when he didn't heal anyone during the earlier encounter, and that I should have just tried harder to get to Ron. I was literally unable to move without getting myself killed, and then we would have been down 2, almost 3 characters. I said that there was nothing I could have done. Everyone grumbled, but the campaign went on.
Literally, Bob agreed to help. Bob, why would you do this?
Why you do this?
Bob. Hey. After that, I got the stink eye for a few occasions from Ron, but while I don't agree that I was entirely at fault, I understood why he was angry about losing his character. Eventually cooled down, and we're good today. Tim, on the other hand, Bob's husband, didn't cool down. God damn it, Tim. It's just a game, Tim. Is Tim secretly ninja?
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen that fucking tweet. It's so fucking stupid.
I haven't, no.
Like that fucking Fortnite Twitch streamer Ninja.
Mm.
It's like, when you say it's just a game.
Oh, yeah, that whole
fucking
thing.
one. It's like, dude, chill out. It's just a game.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. It doesn't show a weak mindset. No, it shows an immature mindset who can't get over the fact that
if you rage. And again, there are some instances in which I can understand rage. For instance, say getting over it, in which it's a whole thing of that game is purposely made to be unwieldy, and so it's not typically just one thing. It's that it's a whole bunch of things meant to break you.
Yeah, no,
But
there
there's
are
a difference
plenty of
between-
There are plenty of games that have perfectly legitimate rage things, like some unfair mechanics in certain things. And
I've played Unfair Mario on the channel. I think I went slightly insane during it.
Oh no.
But yeah. But if you're just like getting pissy because you lost a fucking competitive online match, calm the fuck down.
Grow up.
Fucking hell.
Hey.
You've already lost twice. Ay. Whoa. Tough. Okay, that's a different chat. I was like, what the fuck? Holy shit. Anyway, out of game, he started pretending he could not hear a single word you said. Didn't matter if I looked right at him, raised my voice, if someone else poked him and said, hey, X is talking to you. He would sometimes reply to things I said, only to 5 minutes later vehemently deny I had said anything. For instance...
How was I supposed to know that A would happen if I did B?
Because X told you that just a few minutes ago.
No, she didn't.
But we all heard and saw it. We saw you nod and say, okay.
No, I didn't.
In-game, he started making racist comments about my character. While my character had faced racism before. He never experienced it inside the party, and so the timing seemed interesting, to say the least.
Last I spoke to the DM maybe 1 year ago. Most of them, including the DM, still saw me as the one who caused it. Funnily enough, when my character died later in that campaign and no one lifted a finger to help, it was no one's fault. But I'll leave that story for part 2.
Fucking hell!
Well, good thing we're going on to part 2.
Yeah.
Hang on to your seats, dear readers, or listeners, or lovelies.
I was about to say, yeah, pulchritudinous lovelies.
There we go.
That fucking mouthful.
Pulchritudinous lovelies. I like that. It sounds sophisticated.
Which, that's something you immediately assume with what are we reading? Sophistication.
Yes. Class and sophistication. That's our channel.
We put the fist in sophistication. Wait. Wait.
And the ass in class.
What a fucker. I'd expect this out of me.
That's part of why I said it, because no one would expect it from Tom.
That's the Thomas Inquisition. When your healer dies. Part 2 of When Your Healer is Missing.
Summary of part 1. Our healer had to leave for a couple sessions, so Bob and I agreed to combine our healing abilities to cover for Keith's absence. Then Bob pulled out of the agreement without informing me, and as a result, Ron's character died. I got blamed for it both in and out of game. The people involved.
Again, I think Bob is the one to blame for this. The DM, who I think made some strange decisions, but hey, it's their campaign, and I'm the idiot who stayed even after what happened in part 1. Bob, same asshole as in part 1, but with a new character. Ron, came and went during this part, eventually dropped out entirely. Tim, same as Ron. James, one of the new players, bit insecure and at times a pushover, but overall a good guy. Mark, also a new player, rude as fuck. Keith, joined for a few sessions as a guest player character. And me.
So, so for this part, some things had changed within the group. Keith had left permanently and some other people had joined. I had created a new character, one who in fact was the primary healer. Bob had also created a new character, meaning that they claimed it was a new character even though it was pretty much identical to their previous one. The differences were basically name, appearance, and their primary weapon. It was still the same type of weapon.
talk about? This is completely different. Last guy used an axe. This guy's using a halberd. I say, going from a barbarian with an axe to a barbarian with a halberd. Who? Yeah, we're not going to talk about any similarities between Drusilla and Bundus. But
barbarians are fun, so like, I mean, if you like playing the class, that's fine.
I'm just thinking.
And I would say, I think Vundus has a little more chill than Drusilla.
Good point. Vundus might ask permission before she tried to throw someone. Might. Oh god, I'm just imagining, just grabs Cornelius, yeets him. No warning.
Well, guess we're doing this now. All right. Just screams.
Now I'm just imagining, just Cornelius, this is my life now.
Well, this is my life now. Gets thrown. Probably easy because of his hollow bird bones.
Yes. Well, this is also the second time I've also... Because both of them have the brawny feet. God damn it.
Well, to be fair, Drusilla was a one-shot character. So...
This time, we possibly will have character development. It all depends. Possibly.
We'll see.
Maybe. All this brought about because she just happened to eat a witch's familiar. Accidentally. Or she's supposed to know that wasn't a normal fish. They all taste the same. We start off in a town where the mayor has recruited several adventuring parties to help with different tasks that are meant to help them prepare for a coming war. This includes going out to find resources, building defenses, gathering intel, rooting out spies, and so on.
I like this idea.
Yes. That just reminds me of one of the things I have planned for, like, different planes in the Planeswalker one.
Ooh, intrigue. That'll be fun. Yeah.
I'm not going to get too into it, but...
I know.
Even though I have a habit of getting too into things anyway, here's a specific thing I might do. But at least there's a chance that you might forget it by then. Chance.
You say, I might do it. I'm like, oh, okay, you probably won't. And then it just leaves my mind.
God damn it. You're making me seem like I'm flaky. Anyway.
No, I'm just very, very forgetful when it comes to stuff like that. Yeah. Just because it's like, I might do such and such. Okay, that makes sense. And maybe it's just a switch that I flip, just like, maybe they'll do this, maybe they won't. I'm going to act like they might not do this, so I'll forget it, so I'm surprised when it comes around again.
Yeah. But one day, one of the other adventuring parties have an accident and are stuck in a collapsing cave. But we are the only ones, aside from a few civilians, close enough to help. The DM has us all roll to see how well we do in attempting to get the other party to safety. I roll shitty, and the DM informs me that I'm starting to take damage. Well, still, I keep going in for more people. James, Ron, and Tim. Man, the Harry Potter books are different than I remember. We stand Ron and Tim. Fuck. Are now shouting for my character to get out of there. That she's done all she can. Now I'm just thinking about that one freaking Greek athlete that his whole thing is that people, like the people around him would refer to him as like a modern day Heracles. Which at one point prompted him to just go out and kill a lion. But at one point, him and some friends were in a cave, and it started collapsing. So he was like, all right, you guys leave. I'm going to do some shoulder exercises. You guys get to safety. I'm going to get some like squats in. And that's how he died. Trying to hold up the ceiling of the cave. Which, I mean, fair enough. Like, one of the stories is about how he stopped, like, a charging bull, like, that was going past him one-handed.
Wow.
And if memory serves as a whole thing, like, there are two different cases. I think there are, like, two different stories about, like, someone stopping a charging bull one-handed, like, Greek athleticism. One of them, the bull had a cart, and so they grabbed a hold of the cart. And just, like, yanked on it as it went past and stopped the bull. And the other one, they grabbed a hold of the leg of the bull and accidentally ripped off its foot.
Oh no.
And I can't remember which one he was. And then there's the Greek athlete who died getting eaten alive by wolves while trying to split a tree stump in half.
Huh.
Like there was a tree stump with a crack in it, and he was like, yeah, I'll use this for a workout. Put his hands in the crack and started like forcing it apart. And then some wolves a pack of wolves was going by, saw him and decided to attack him. And it's either that his hands were stuck or that he decided to just keep going. And so, like, paintings of this moment show him, like, with his hands in the stump, strangling wolves to death between his thighs.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
Fucking Greek athletes. Ah, God. Mark and Bob are standing off to the side, watching all of this without helping because, well, we don't care if they die. It's actually kind of fun to hear them scream in pain. Fucking hell, I just suddenly thought of Kothar, like, wait, why are you dragging the bot? Why are you dragging them out? I thought you wouldn't care. Well, if they die, free meal. But I can't really get to them if it's collapsed. If they die, free meal. But I can't really get to them if it's collapsed, so. Just, like, person wedged between two rocks. All right. Stay still. Rips arm off.
Oh no.
Yeah, that'll work. Again, that's a character that's meant for that sort of shit. He's meant to be weird and disturbing. They think it's hilarious that my character is an idiot for caring about saving other people's lives, etc. If they live, they might treat me to dinner. If they die, they are dinner. Really concerning, perhaps. Perhaps. Oh, God. That next stretch of the story is going to be interesting.
Definitely.
That is until James reminds them that I'm the healer. Now they're starting to get annoyed instead because how dare I play my character in a way that matches her ideals, bonds, etc. Calm the fuck down. If anyone's going to survive, it's probably the healer. Oh, God. Eventually, though, I get the last person out, and we're all still standing. I return to town. We're all greeted as heroes, and Mark is quick to step in, basking in the praise, even though he didn't lift a finger to help.
Ah, that kind of person.
Again, if it was meant to be how his character was, that'd be one thing.
And here's my opinion on the matter. The author's, Tom's opinion. Play an evil character if you want, but if the campaign is revolving entirely around the party being folk heroes, then maybe don't get surprised if people despise you when your reaction to seeing farmers get slaughtered is, lol, I don't care.
Like, even Kothar's reaction wouldn't be, lol, I don't care. It'd be, well, that's unfortunate. Like, yeah, still kind of, like, uncaring, but at least, like, in a way that he seems to understand that it's a bad thing. Well. Okay. Why are you pulling the bodies out of the burning house? They seem to be at about the right temperature.
Oh, jeez.
Again, he provides way too much potential for just terrible things. My first time playing a lizard man is going to be absolutely nightmarish. So long as I don't try to eat the party, we should be good.
Well, that's the thing. If the party dies, it's like, free meal. But if you're keeping them alive because they're your pack mates, then that's another thing.
Oh, God. Party dies. So are we planning on reviving them? Why? I was wondering if I maybe could take a nibble.
All we need is one part of them to heal. So, okay, just cuts hand off. You can have that part. Starts eating.
Cuts one finger off. Oh, is that all you're gonna eat? Tosses finger to someone else. There you go.
There, for if we need to revive them. Just starts eating.
Well, best not to waste foods, my friend.
Waste not, what not.
Are you making daggers out of their bones? Maybe.
Oh, man. Lizard folk are fun.
Yeah. Even more so if you find a really stupid exploit. Anyway, like for instance, making them a monk. Oh, God. Approaching the end of the campaign, we go into a fight against BBG. But by we, I mean Mark runs ahead, even though everyone tells him to wait. Slow the fuck down. I'm hungry. I can imagine a lot of situations of just holding me back with him.
Mm-hmm.
And starts picking off some people. By some miracle, he manages to remain undetected for the first few minutes, but eventually that goes to shit. We enter combat and barely pull through, with all of us being badly injured. Healing potions were basically non-existent in this campaign, so we didn't have any of those with us, and the others had basically no healing abilities. Whoops.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
At least Bundus is, whenever she's actually getting proper rolls, a self-healing barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just eat part of that guy? I might have, I don't remember. Everything's kind of a blur. Let's see, where the fuck? Oh, yeah. This meant that I had to expend all except maybe 2 to 3 spell slots just to heal us after that first fight. God damn it. Again, everyone except Mark says that we need to pause for a moment. You know, take a short rest, spin some hit dice so that I don't have to immediately heal people again when we go into combat. Mark complains and complains and complains until the majority of the players agree to go straight ahead instead. I explicitly state that it's a bad idea because I don't have much healing left. My character has taken a lot of hits herself. Retrospect, I wish that I had just sat my character down and said, I'm not going anywhere until we've rested. But since everyone else has caved, I do too.
We enter combat again. Boom goes my last 2 spell slots. Now that I'm starting to take hits, I don't have anything left to heal myself. I go unconscious. None of the others can heal me, and none of them attempt to stabilize me. The situation made it very difficult for them to get to me, so I can understand that. I've failed my death saving throws. Everyone, including Bob, has the decency to give me an apologetic look. Everyone except Mark. He gets pissed because how am I supposed to heal him if I'm dead?
How are they supposed to heal you if they have no spell slots, dumb... I almost just said dumb fuck. That was lazy even for me.
Still works. I tell him as calmly as I can that there's not any fucking thing I can do because I have no spell slots. He gets even more pissed because how could I have been so irresponsible with my spell slots? At this point, the others can tell I'm about to snap, so they tell Mark to be quiet. I spend the rest of the session watching the others play.
I don't play with this group anymore.
Good.
Sounds like Mark needs to get his nose broken.
Yeah.
And now the final story, Marcus the metagamer.
Wonder if this is the same Mark.
Huh?
Oh, it is my line, yes.
Yes.
Marcus the metagamer. I will readily admit that I have metagamed, especially when I first got into tabletop role-playing games. Now, I've gotten a lot better at avoiding it. Yeah, same here, man.
Manette?
Yes.
Manlet.
Same here.
I mean, if she's less than 6 foot tall, then yes, manlet. Wait.
Same here, person on the internet. However, there's one guy that I've been in a couple of campaigns with that just won't stop with his attempts to steer me in certain directions. I think in the beginning he was doing it to be helpful since I was a new player and the youngest one at that. But by now it's been about 6 years. I'd argue that I know what my various characters would and wouldn't do, and it's getting ridiculous. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's one of those whole things. Like, I will admit, I have a habit of just like fucking going through stat blocks. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's kind of cool. Probably shouldn't actively utilize that unless it's something my character would know.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like the Hydra dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone fucking knows the Hydra's weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone. So it's like, well, fuck. If a Hydra shows up in game, do the characters know the Hydra's weakness?
Yeah, that's one of the things. That's one of the hardest things to do in D&D is to make your character actively not do something because your character wouldn't know about certain weaknesses and exploits that we as players do know. It's hard, and like I still struggle with it occasionally, but I'm getting better at it, and it's a lot more fun when it's like, oh man, the zombie is probably weak to radiant damage. I should probably I should probably use a radiant damage spell. But would my wizard know that? Probably not, because he spent most of his life in a wizarding tower. So he's going to just keep blasting it with lightning or something. I don't know.
Meanwhile, like I have Renaka, whose whole thing is that she is technically a bioengineer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, what shit would she know? Probably a good deal when it comes to different monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Although she likely wouldn't know as much when it came to undead constructs, as that's something that she would probably avoid.
Yes.
But yeah, and this is the whole thing of, well, if Hydras are commonplace in this world, then would most people know the whole Hydra's weakness thing?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. Kind of like, I'm trying to think of like what a good equivalent would be like in real life, like a place where there are bears. People know that usually know that loud noises and stuff can scare bears away, and you don't have to worry too much about it. So
unless it's a grizzly,
yeah, that one just try to run downhill if you can.
or climb a tree very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Don't climb it. Fucking yeet yourself up that tree, because it has a much longer reach than you do. But grizzly bears don't tend to be as good at climbing trees due to their weight.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you're too low, it could just pull you out of the fucking tree.
Yeah. So get higher and stay away from it.
Though depending on the strength of the bear, it might knock down the tree.
Yeah.
But yeah, or like the whole thing with sharks. Most people have probably heard the whole thing of like go for the eyes or go for the nose.
Mm-hmm.
The nose is less of a good idea if you're punching it.
Uh-huh.
Because it could just open its mouth.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I'm actually planning on having that be referenced with a Mershark character of mine. You know who, Tom. But
yes.
Just the whole thing of like different characters. Well, she's a shark. Go for the nose. Oh God, my hand. Because yes, her nose is very sensitive. If you were to hit her there, it would fucking knock her out. Like just fucking like stagger the shit out of her. But at the same time, mouth is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're fighting the BBG. Marcus keeps insisting that when my character goes into melee with it, I should attack in a certain way. Okay, I've done things where it's like, this would be a good idea, but it's never a whole thing of, that's what your character would do. It's more like, I do this. I've kind of done this with Vundis. I think I've had her mention stuff like that a few times, as well as like characters who are more like physical fighters. So it would make sense for them to know some strategy. So it's like, oh, right there would be a good position. Or something like that. Telling someone this is what your character would do, or that you should attack it, or like that you should do this, that's a different matter. And then I guess we also have the cases in the fucking pirate campaign where my character with the fucking reach weapon has people like getting in between her and whoever she's trying to kill. Like, okay, god damn it, let me move. Like, it's useful. I don't have to worry about opportunity attacks most of the time. Unless I need to step up and bite, but that's a different matter. I'm planning on not using the whole like tail thing with the Path of the Beast until like reach 5th level, and so get the like extra attack. Just because of the whole thing I mentioned with like flavoring it as a pair of like colossal squid tentacles.
Yes.
So just like those fucking sprout out of the back and just start like slapping the shit out of people.
Yeah. And then anyway. I'll say something when I get to my paragraph.
All right. Note that it wasn't Marcus's character using part of his turn to shout advice to my character. It was Marcus out of character saying, after every PC's turn, Pear, you should do this. No. Nay. Niet.
That's
I don't go along
from me, bucko.
Yeah, that's gonna be a no from me, dog. I don't go along with it and attack the way that my character usually does based on his skills and limited information about the BBEG. I end up killing it anyway. Apparently Marcus had fought something like this in an earlier game and remembered its weaknesses.
Metagaming, yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, well, back onto the topic of metagaming. In the last session, I mentioned my character, Rootwalla. One of the things he did as a barbarian, because as a lizard folk in Pathfinder, you have 2 claw attacks and a bite attack that you can use. Whenever Rootwalla would go into a rage, he would throw down any weapon, including like shields and stuff that he was wielding, and go full-on feral and rip and tear. Like, it was a flavor thing and probably wasn't the smartest idea, but if Rootwalla was raging, he wasn't making smart decisions. And you see, and that was one of the things when I started doing to where it's like, I wasn't metagaming. I was like, okay, what would my character do? This is how he'd do such and such. And of course, being like a brawler, he did have like fist attacks that he could use as well, but like it was still more like going into a blood rage. He would go feral and just time to eat type thing. And it's like, it was a lot of fun. I was not very effective in some cases when I did that. Like, I remember specifically we went up against a lava elemental and I used one of my abilities to knock it out for a couple rounds, and I attempted to coup de grace it with my bare hands. It probably would have been better if I would have used my short sword or my great axe. But no, it's like, okay, I just punched this thing in the face. I'm high on adrenaline. I'm going to try to crush it and tear its head off. Didn't work, like I said, but it was still really fun.
It's kind of that whole thing where I tried to have Drusilla strangle that kobold.
That was funny.
Unfortunately, it just kept getting high dex rolls.
2, we level up, and I get to choose a new skill for my character, and obviously I picked the one that I've had my eye on since the very beginning of the campaign. Marcus thinks I should have chosen the other one because it would fit better with where we are going next. We haven't really decided where we're going next, and also the one I picked fits better with my character's background. Does he have some insider information from the DM? Has he and the other players already agreed to the direction they want to go without talking to me? I don't know.
Yeah, that's also that sort of thing. It's like, oh, god damn it. Like, again, I have a habit of oversharing. So it's like, oh, okay, so that's a thing that we're going to need to look out for in the future. But, god fucking damn it. Like, also the whole thing of telling someone what feat they should use. If someone is like, I'm thinking of going for a feat, but I'm not sure which one. Sure, give them some fucking advice.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. Advice unasked for is called criticism. And criticism can be constructive, but in that instance,
I think it's more just called being a dick.
Yeah, but criticism can be constructive, but in that instance, it is more just being a dick. Just kind of some tips and pointers for anyone who's wanting to get into D&D out there. As someone who's been playing D&D since 2014, so 6 years, so like not as long as other people I know, but I've done some role playing things.
Much longer than me.
Yeah, but just the whole thing with stuff like that. Remember to ask yourself, would your character know that? Your character is someone completely different from you. It's not just you idealized. I mean, you could do that if you want to. That's perfectly fine. But at
just
the same,
make sure to not play them like an absolute dick.
yeah, and that's one of the whole things. It's like the way I make my characters. Yes, I have a piece of them that has a little bit of my own personality, so it's a little bit easier to role play them. But again, I don't think I've ever had the chance when it's like I've made a character that's just me but better in fantasy stuff, because that's not really where I learned. Because first D&D campaign, I was like, I could be a race of a dragon person, and I was really happy.
I mean, the closest I've done with that is Sazerac, and that's just because I am a whore. But
yeah, but when it comes to just stuff like that, remember to keep in mind your character's backstory, because your first character that you create will have an in-depth backstory. And think about it, just like, okay, my character's had this experience. Would he possibly know this? And I mean, don't be and don't worry about taking too much time before you speak and start role playing. It's okay to take a breath for a second and be like, okay, how do I want to word this? I do that sometimes, take a few pauses, like, okay, how would my character say this? And it also, if you're a little bit quiet, everyone focuses on you a little bit more. If you're intimidated by that, sorry, but you just kind of do that, and then everyone listens, and then you can say something how you would formulate your sentence. And it's a lot of fun when you do stuff like that. And it's going to be hard to not metagame for starting out, but it's a good skill to kind of work on. Like, okay, don't mix my own knowledge with my character's knowledge and stuff.
Yeah, like it's the whole thing. Like if I were to ever actually play Renatka as a character instead of an NPC, the whole thing of, okay, this is someone with a scientist background, so they would know like this sort of stuff. Meanwhile, like I have a love of like doing barbarians and the like that have like the Outlander background, specifically having them being just kind of like someone who just wanders from place to place, going through like nature and shit. So it's like makes sense that they would fucking know like animal shit.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Sazerac doesn't know what an owl is.
You're not going to let that one go, are you?
No, that's entirely on my rolls. It's not like I'm upset at you. It's just that was one of the stupidest moments.
Oh, I know you're not upset at me, and I was just throwing out a suggestion just to make a joke. But I mean, I'm glad you rolled with it. It's funny.
Oh yeah, like, and that is the whole thing. Like as Tom said, he has a habit of focusing more on background. I have a habit of focusing more on coming up with like a character type and figuring out the background that led to that. But at the same time, would this type of person know this type of thing?
Mm-hmm.
One of those things that's always just kind of important to bear in mind. Anyway,
this has been How to Roleplay 101 with Tom and Llytic. You're welcome. You never asked for it, but you're welcome anyway.
3. He is gone for a session. In-game, this is explained with his character having partied too hard the night before and being hungover. I fucking like that. I like that. That's funny.
That is pretty funny.
Meanwhile, it's like, what color is this sign?
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun time.
That was.
Can I lick this? Is it painted with arsenic?
I hope Anthony was okay with that.
I mean, you didn't really know about it until he got back.
Mm-hmm.
I think I literally just at one point yelled out, "Can I lick this?"
I think you did. That's funny. I forgot about that.
This being after I tried to sleep with the mayor. Out of context, it makes me seem like a terrible player.
You're not a terrible player. You're a great player. You play your character great.
I'm just absolutely like stupid when I do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Which is kind of funny because I think Sazerac has like the highest intelligence stat of the party. No, second highest now. I think Aya has him beat now.
Yeah, Aya got some really good rolls on character sheet generation or character generation.
Let's see. Next session, he comes back and his character starts to comment on the things that transpired while he was gone. Things we didn't tell him. Example. Oh, why didn't X ask Y this specific question? And you should have made a deal with Z offering Y. Oh, God damn it. I mean, worst we had was keeping track of who the fuck knew what earlier. Did have a bit of that, but then again, it's a whole thing of every other week.
Yeah, I want to apologize because I feel like that's one of my main problems. Yeah.
Let's say because it was like, wait, no, Kresnik doesn't know that. He doesn't know about the secret of the fox thing. Sazerac was very careful about not telling people. And you should have made a deal with Z offering Y. Offering Y? The person? People are not bargaining chips. At least not player characters. Usually. He was also playing a, let's say, not very intellectual or wise character.
Intelligence was his dump stat.
I don't think I've ever had intelligence as my dump stat.
I've had it a couple of times. One time it went horribly wrong and everyone hated it. I ended up rolling up a new one because it was like, man, this was a mistake.
I think usually I go for charisma instead. Unless it's supposed to be like a spellcaster, then I go for strength. They don't need to be strong. Oh shit, Tinster's transformation.
Yeah, I'll usually do dexterity as a dump stat because I tend to go like more martial classes and I tend to focus more on strength and dexterity. Except for Cornelius, he's just a little bit different than what I usually play. But
God, I'm just thinking with the fucking I don't think I've mentioned it on like podcast, but that fucking DM's Guild thing I found of like the Biomancer subclass. Just so you mean I can now cast Tinser's transformation on other people? Congratulations, barbarian! You now do 2d12 force damage.
Rip and Tear starts playing.
Like that's just fucking horrific. Because it also, if memories, it's either that or haste that also boosts armor class. I think that might be haste. Yeah, haste boosts armor class by 2. But yeah, just fucking like whoop. Like that axe, it's not fucking going through people. It's exploding them.
Viper axe. 4 or 5. Sorry.
So it made little sense for him to come up with these suggestions. There we go.
All right, now it's my turn. 4, 5, 6, and so on. As soon as it's my turn in combat, Marcus jumps in to tell me what to do. I can't get a word out before he begins explaining what spell, weapon, whatever I should use, who I should target, and so on. It's getting out of hand.
Yeah. Oh god, this is an ongoing issue?
Yeah,
29 days ago.
Yep, less than a month ago. Yeah.
Oh shit. I accidentally backhanded my stop sign. Anyway, I have to agree with DF Mock, not Monk. Dude, stop helping me. It's pissing me off is where this convo needs to start. Yeah.
Did you read the last line there?
Oh, last line. Again, I do think he's doing this with the intention of helping me, but at the end of the day, it just comes across as him not trusting me and my capabilities, which feels kind of shitty.
Yeah, he could also be someone who's like, oh, this is how I would do it, and I know more than everyone else, so maybe I should help them and stuff like that. He, like, again, the way you're saying...
thinks it's going to get him laid.
I hope not.
I mean, there are people like that. They're like, let me help you out with role-playing so that maybe you'll see me as someone positive.
Okay, that's
the thing.
Yeah, I did. I guess I shouldn't have expected as much, but even so, it's like, okay, when it comes to stuff like this, if someone asks for help, give them help. But if they don't ask for help, shut the hell up. That's one of the things that that is one of the things I've had to learn the hard way, because I've come across as I've been Marcus in the situation before. I've been overbearing. I've been telling people what to do. And it wasn't until not recently, but like it wasn't until a couple of years ago when someone told me, "Hey, back off." It's like, okay, I should shut the fuck up in this situation.
I'm trying to remember the name. It was, it's like one of like that one pair of stage like magicians.
Mm-hmm.
But all I can think of, okay, Penn. It's Penn, like from Penn and Teller. All I can think of is just that one clip of him going, "You need to shut the fuck up."
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's all I can think. I would put the GIF in the chat, but out of context, like the last thing we have is Zane chiming in. So that might end up being a bit bad timing.
Well, yeah, hang on. Let me do something real quick.
Are you giving me an in?
Yeah, there we go. Now you can put the GIF in there.
All right, let me fucking share. No, not through Reddit. What? Oh God. Fucking hell. Okay, so I guess this was the wrong way to try and do it. GIF cat. Okay, let me fucking find.
Did you find it on a web search?
Yeah, I found it on a web search, and the whole issue is that you can't do GIFs.
Go back to the GIF.
Oh wait, yeah. Open image in another tab. Open image.
Either that or copy image location, where you don't have to open another tab, and then you just paste it in the chat.
Copy image address?
Yes, that.
Okay. That is one of the things that bugs me, is that you can't just copy GIFs to... God fucking damn it. Why is it static?
I don't know.
Oh, that's why. Never mind. All right, let's delete this one.
Okay.
Delete that one. So we don't just have Pin there saying you need... There we go.
There we go.
But yes, Marcus, you need to shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh God, I'm just imagining just like playing a game, middle of it, sends that GIF. You should do this. Oh, I got a message.
Hey, I got a message. Oh.
Oh God, that's where we're gonna end this.
Special thanks.
Yep, I know.
Okay, just checking. Sorry, not
Special thank you to Destiny Baird for supporting us on Patreon. If you would, if you like what we do and like to support us, then consider going down to the link in the description and donating to our Patreon. We got a few different little perks that you can get from that. And with that,
see y'all next time.
life is pain.